Young and Restless recap. Jordan D. Sally surprises Billy, and Jordan's reign of terror comes to an end. The Young and the Restless. Billy turns over a new leaf. Maria is horrified by the Ian/Jordan connection, and Victor questions Nikki, Victoria, and Claire. Credit: CBS screenshot. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Young and Restless shocker. Ian's last stand. Plus, not one, but *2 anticlimactic endings. At the tack house, Jordan drinks the tea and smashes the cup on the floor. She'll gladly drink more if she has more. She won't let Victor Newman put her back in prison or cage her in a dungeon. Victor asks what she's talking about. Claire says she put poison in Jordan's tea. She's expecting them to call an ambulance to save her life. Jordan asks if Claire will stand there and watch her loving aunt die before her very eyes. Jordan tells Claire she doesn't have the guts to go through with this. Nikki sneers that she's stronger than she ever gave her credit for. Jordan rants about the sacrifices she made for Claire. Has she forgotten the good times? Victoria hollers at her to stop it. She refuses to let her back in her daughter's head. Jordan says she already is, and Victoria will never be the way she is. Victoria won't have Jordan's death on Claire's conscience and says she'll call an ambulance. Jordan knocks her phone out of her hand. You won't. In the jazz lounge, Jack spots Billy at the bar and turns to leave. Billy calls out to him, "You don't have to run away." Jack's not looking for an argument. Neither is Billy. He wants to buy his brother a drink. They sit and debate whether Billy's drowning. Billy thought he had all the answers, but he needs to stop fighting and start listening to the ones he respects. That includes Jack and everyone else who's warned he's heading off a cliff. Jack asks, "What is going on?" Billy says things have been bad since he lost Abbott Chancellor. The anger and outrage got the best of him. First, it was all about Victor stealing from him. He wanted to hurt the man who hurt him. Jack rolls his eyes. That's a full-time job. Billy says the drowning sensation has more to do with his mother and the pain and hurt she caused him when she did what she did. Billy wanted to blame Victor for taking advantage of her poor health. Then it dawned on him that he'd need to go after his family, namely Adam, but Phyllis talked him out of it. No one believes he can take down the big white whale, or that he should even try. Jack asks if he's letting this go for good then. Billy says he has issues with his mother that have nothing to do with Chancellor. After he resolves those, he can think about his next career move. Jack is proud of his brother. Nothing good comes of bloodthirsty revenge. Billy says his success won't come from dragging someone down, but building himself up. He has good ideas. Jack believes he does. In fact, he's willing to talk about bankrolling one of them. At Sharon's place, Maria and Nick usher her inside, talking about taking her to the hospital to get checked out. Faith appears and throws herself into her mother's arms. They sit, and Sharon is so glad to see her daughter's faces. It's such a relief to be home. Nick wants her to go to the hospital, but Sharon refuses. Nick tells the girls they know who did this to their mom. It was Jordan. They ask how that's possible. Nick says she found someone to take her place in prison. Maria guesses she had help. Nick says Ian arranged the prison switch, and Jordan claims he's the one who killed Heather to get Sharon out of the way so he had a clear path to Maria. Maria can't believe this is because of her. Nick and Sharon work hard to convince Maria that this isn't on her. Sharon still can't understand how Jordan is involved. Did she even know Anne? Nick says it's a long, involved story. She needs to rest. Faith wants her mother to see a doctor. Sharon will see one in the morning, but tonight she wants her own bath and bed. She notices Maria crying. Maria throws her arms around her. "Mom, I'm so sorry." Maria says this was exactly what she was afraid of, that she was the reason the psycho came to town. Look what happened to Heather. Daniel and Lucy's lives have been destroyed so he could get back at her. Nick says she's a victim like everyone else. Maria understands that logically, but the lengths Ian has gone to get to her is insane. She recounts her fight with Tessa, who suggested he had changed. "I said some things I regret." Sharon's sure her wife will forgive her. Maria complains that the monster is trying to destroy her life all over again. In the tack house, Victor and Nikki holler at Jordan and tell her how vile she is, even as she's dying. Jordan is just trying to make it as memorable as possible. Victoria tells her to shut her filthy mouth. Jordan asks Claire, "What kind of poison was it?" "The same kind we used on them. The slow-acting one that causes such severe pain and spasms." She sits on the sofa and asks, "How much time do I have left?" Claire tells her she has 10 minutes, maybe less. She dumped a bottle of sleeping pills in her tea. Jordan complains that she taught her to be more creative than that. Victoria says there's still time to call for help. Jordan won't have it. Every time Claire closes her eyes, she'll be right there reminding her of what she's done to her. "You're a murderer, Claire, just like me." Claire tells her she's wrong. "I am grateful to be a human." Jordan sneers, "You ungrateful little bitch, you disgust me." Jordan tells Claire it's all a hoax and her newfound family is a lie. Victor bellows, "That's enough. Tell me where I can find Ian Ward." Jordan says he's too late, and she hopes her iron destroys every one of them. Victor says it will never happen. They'll meet soon enough, and will be dancing in hell. How's that? Huh? In the jazz lounge, Billy tells Jack he appreciates his offer of funding. Jack believes he's capable of great things, and cannot wait to hear his ideas. Billy tells him he'll be the first call when he figures out what's next. Jack understands he has to sort out his Jill issues first. He can't imagine how gut-wrenching her disapproval was. Sally appears and has been looking for Billy. "I have a surprise for you." At Sharon's place, Nick tells Mariah not to let Ian hurt her more than he already has. Sharon thinks she should go make things right with Tessa. He wants to cause a rift between them. Faith adds, "Don't give him the satisfaction." Maria worries about leaving Sharon, but Faith says she'll be there. Nick reminds her he'll be at the main house. In the tack house, Jordan remarks on them watching her die. Have they even thought about how they'll get rid of her body? Nikki wonders if she's concerned about her victims. Jordan tells Claire she loved her and she's completely sold her soul to these people. Claire hasn't sold her soul. If anything, I reclaimed it after you stole it, tried to twist it into something evil like you. Jordan says she'll never be part of their world and gasps about her sister. She asks if Claire'll miss her. Claire takes her aunt's hand as she succumbs. Victor declares, "That's the end." Victoria sits by Claire and hugs her. At the Abbott mansion, Diane tells Jack she's been looking at old magazines for inspiration for the Jabbot Classics line. She notices Jack's good mood, so he tells her he had a civil conversation with Billy, who has done some serious soul-searching. Losing to Victor seems to have matured him. Diane is glad Billy's walking away. Jack feels bad that he feels betrayed by his mother, and his dreams for Abbott Chancellor went up in smoke, but it's a chance to go in a whole new direction. He looks forward to seeing where it takes him. Sally takes Billy into a darkened house with his eyes closed. "Don't open them." Once she turns on the light, she tells him to open his eyes. "Wow." She reminds him he asked her to help with his new place. He says, "Sally, this is amazing." She asks if he likes the color scheme. He loves it and is feeling the good vibes of her feng shui. Sally says, "Come here," and shows him the photos of his family members she sprinkled around. Billy sighs as he spots Delia's picture. It's his favorite. He marvels over Sally's attention to detail. This is exactly the uplifting surprise he needed right now. It's a fresh start. Sally needed something positive to focus on too. They kiss. Billy tells Sally he's going to love living there. "I think this calls for a celebratory drink." Sally brought champagne, so they sit down to pour. Billy has more good news. It has to do with Chancellor. He says it's time for him to set a new path forward, much like what this house represents. It's time to let go of the anger and animosity and get his life back on track. Sally's proud of him. Congratulations. They toast to a new day. At Sharon's place, she's cleaned up and in a tracksuit and tells Faith and Nick how happy she is to be home. She asks Nick if Ian and Jordan have been caught yet. Nick says the family had Jordan cornered at Vic's place and have undoubtedly turned her over to the police. Sharon's relieved. And Ian? Nick's sure they'll find him soon and he'll be arrested for Heather's murder. We're getting close. Sharon hates that Maria feels responsible for the monster's actions. They'll be there for her. Sharon tells them they also have to let Daniel and Lucy know that they found out who killed Heather. Nick assures her they'll tell them in the morning. Tonight, she needs to rest. Faith hugs her mom and heads upstairs. Sharon tells Nick, "That is what kept me going. She kept thinking about her family and getting back to the kids." She cries, "That, and a little bit of help from you." Nick learns that when she was on the PCP, he kept appearing to her with encouragement, like her guardian angel. "You saved me. You pushed me to get myself out of there." Nick's glad he could help her on some level. They embrace. At the tack house, Jordan is covered with a blanket. Victor calls for a team to come to the tack house. Nikki wonders what they'll do with her. Victor thinks they should tell the police the truth. She escaped from prison with the help of Iron Ward and made her way onto the ranch with intent to kill them. When she realized she'd have to go back to prison, she drank some poison. Victoria tells Claire, "It's finally over, sweetheart," and hugs her. At the ranch house, Nikki asks, "Can I get anyone anything? I doubt we're going to be able to sleep anytime soon." Victor says before she does anything there's something he needs to know. What were the three of you thinking? Next on The Young and the Restless, Victor warns his family, and Tessa and Aria go missing. Get a whole lot more preview for the week ahead in the new photo gallery below. Sponsored content. Actor Sylvester Stallone selling La Quinta, California, villa at a Los Mansion Global. We can determine what fictional character you are in 20 questions game day news. In